Hello and welcome to Non-Stop Wrestling Chat. My name is Barry and this is your Monday Night Raw review. Before we go any further guys, before we get into the review, first of all, thanks for all the support and don't forget to hit like, subscribe and that notification bell. Also, if you go check out my last video, which was like a game review of SmackDown Shut Your Mouth, let me know what you think about it. Let me know what you think about the game, and I might try and keep those wrestling game segments kind of up going forward. Might even do like a little Twitch stream of one of them. Anyway guys, let's get into tonight's show that you came here for. Retribution kicked off the show, right? And it was fucking bad, guys. The whole first part of it was boring. Like, the whole first segment made no sense because you know that in 6 months, every single one of these people that are in Retribution are going to be jobbers again. Like, literally made no sense. Right, the first match that we had was Seth Rollins and Murphy versus Andre and Angel versus Calero and Dominic Mysterio. Andre and Angel picked up the win. This was a middle of the road match. I kind of enjoyed it. It wasn't great. It was just middle of the road. 2.5 stars. It was like a 5.5 minute match. It was enough for it. It was actually no bad. Like, it wasn't great. It wasn't bad. It was just middle of the road. An enjoyable match. So I was like, right, cool. The first part of the match was the first part of the show. Obviously, was pretty shit. But then I was like, right, no problem. It's probably going to get better from here on out because obviously this was an okay match. Boy, was I wrong. So we get Jovac and his crew are backstage. Sorry guys, I need to adjust the camera. Jovac and his crew are backstage. He tells the Hurt Business that he's one of the Retribution, by the way. He tells the Hurt Business that he could have been part of them. That we didn't need to go against you. You're taking WWE's money to pay for your suits. They didn't ask for this out of pain or anger. They asked for it out of greed. Like, they go on and they'll say tonight Retribution's going to face them. But can I just say something? Why the fuck are they on WWE TV then? Obviously they've took the contract and they're getting the money. It was, now back in the day when they did the NWO, I get what they're doing, right? But now back in the day when they had the NWO, Kevin Nash and Scott Hall went to WCW. You know they were getting paid by WCW, but they literally made themselves seem so different from everything that WCW done. It questioned it, made them seem that they were coming in. This doesn't do that at all. This literally, we know these guys work for WWE. Not because of social media and shit. We'd literally have seen them in WWE's product. Then we had a Kevin Owens, the Talk Owens thing. I'll leave you to enjoy the segments during that and after that because it was jobby cakes. Then we have Keith Lee versus Drew McIntyre. 3 stars I gave this. I really enjoyed it. Drew McIntyre picked up the win via DQ because he Orton. But I enjoyed this. I'm loving Lee putting on the good kind of work. I'm just really not getting the losing by DQ or like never lose, like always losing and never like. They're kind of hurting the guy. Like, I just think he's just got, anytime he goes up against a big guy, he's going to get bet. That's what I'm thinking, but that's what they're making it appear like. Anyway, so Orton grabs a chair, sends it into the jaw of McIntyre. Orton turns around and punt kicks Lee. Orton is nice enough to kind of wait for him to come back from commercial to start talking. He walks over to an ambulance, opens the door, said he had a smile on his face when, like, knowing that Ric Flair took this trip, Shawn Michaels, because he's a legend killer. The world title match at Clash of Champions isn't exactly a normal title match. See, at this moment in time, it's not a normal title match. It should just be forgotten because this was the best part of the show and it wasn't even that great. Anyway, we move on to Zelina Vega versus Mickie James. Zelina picked up the win. I gave this 1 star. I don't understand why it was here. Don't understand why Mickie James was bet so quickly. I honestly thought Mickie James and Ahsoka were going to go into a long kind of feud, like a long feud, have great matches, because I know those two can put on some great matches, but obviously not. Backstage we get the Hurt Business. They're beating down some of the kind of the lesser Retribution people. MVP says they live for this. Hurt Business stands tall. MVP takes Kendrick to his upcoming match. Rail Satin and Lashley take care of the Hoods. Apollo Crews versus Kendrick Alexander. 1.5 stars, guys. This match was... you know the best way to describe this match is... It was so middle of the road that, is the best way to describe it. There was... Fuck, it wasn't middle of the road. It was just... It seemed like so, like, just... like, weird. Like, two robots trying to fucking wrestle. It just didn't look good. It wasn't that great. Anyway, Shelton and Lashley come down and attack. They send Ricochet and Apollo into the barricade. MVP directs Lashley to lock the full Nelson on Apollo. And then we go to Dolph Ziggler and Raw Underground. Guys, this literally just starts to get really bad here. Dolph Ziggler and Raw Underground with a bearded guy. Then Dolph ends up grabbing a sleeper and he gets the win. Sure, Dolph, you got the win. The only place that you can fucking get a win, apparently. Seth was out in the normal Raw for a really, really pish-poor segment about the Mysterios. Shayna Baszler versus Nia Jax. Sorry, Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax versus Lana and Natalya. Jax and Baszler pick up the win. I'm not even going to rate this, guys, because it was like fucking 40 seconds, 50 seconds or something. Nia and Shayna go to attack Ruby and Liv, they're at ringside. Shayna clears the table, but Ruby and Liv back away, so Nia grabs Lana and Samoa drops her through the table. Did we not just see this segment last week? Was this literally, was this segment not just last week? Does WWE think when we watch their product at the end of the show, like before the next one starts, they whip out the Men in Black, the flashy thing, and flash you with it so you forget what the fuck just happened? Then we get Peyton Royce versus Ahsoka. This was terrible. Ahsoka wins via DQ. Pointless match. Waste of time. She screams Zelina screams that this is her time. Ahsoka goes for a spinning back fist, but Zelina rolls out of the ring and screams that the title is hers. That's why Ahsoka won via DQ. Backstage, Ray's daughter is sitting all sad and Murphy comes up and says he's sorry, things are getting out of hand. Please don't start a love story with a 19-year-old girl. I swear to God, are they really not like... She's 19, that's whatever, right? But come on to Christ, can we not just like... What the fuck is going on? We head backstage to Raw Underground when Braun does his thing and just hits people and that's it, he wins. As always, this was terrible. Raw Underground, just full stop, needs to stop. Retribution versus the Hurt Business. Winners the Hurt Business via DQ. 1 star. What the fuck is going on in this thing? Retribution versus the ring. And then there's the beating down. Drew's music hits. He comes out with the Raw roster. Orton runs into the ring and RKO's Drew. Finished. You know, guys, I could have probably gave this a higher star rating for the fact that I gave some matches higher stars, but I'm giving this 1 star. This was barely watchable. Tonight we had 3 DQs, 4 DQ endings. Did they just forget? Like, just what the fuck? The wrestling that was relatively subpar, apart from maybe the first competition and obviously Keith Lee and Orton, but that was one of the DQs. Retribution is dead upon arrival. These guys were jobbers before it. Now they're coming into it and they don't look like they can hold themselves against anybody. So they're going to be jobbers again in 6 months. Nia just done the exact same. Nia done the exact same thing as she done last week. Literally last week. The same exact way she done it was the same way this week. It wasn't a house show, Nia. You were on fucking Raw. We can see you do it. See, when I was growing up, guys, this is what's really getting me. When I was growing up, Raw was a thing to watch. You know what I mean? I love SmackDown. I love WCW. But Raw was always like, it was Raw. Then for me, it was, I probably WCW and then you had Raw. But Raw was where you got Stone Cold, Undertaker. I remember growing up before there was a SmackDown. And it was just so good to watch. Raw was that a place to go watch wrestling. and the same as Nitro. Monday was so important. Monday's a joke. This is literally just a joke. It's embarrassing. Grow some balls, guys. Get risky. Why the hell are WWE not doing something that's going to change? If it doesn't work, don't keep trying it, because it's just no working. Like I says, I know the NWO thing that they're trying to recreate, right? They've tried to recreate it as well. They tried to recreate it with Evolution. They were even better. Evolution. Are they going to try and or DX? Fuck it, like, against the establishment. This is just cringy. When you watch Retribution, it's cringy. It's unbelievable. None of the people are believable, like big men or scary people that you would hate to go up against. Like Evolution, for instance, had Orton, Batista, Ric Flair and Triple H. All of them were mega competitive and you believed they could fight. Then if you look at your NWO, Hogan, Scott Hall, Kevin Nash, all over. These guys aren't over at all. Literally just not over at all. I really don't know where they're going to be going from here. I don't know what they're going to be doing. Where they're going to be going. Like I said, Retribution's dead on arrival. And I honestly think, see, when you're watching Raw, it should be a sign-up thing, that then they give you that Men in Black thing, just so you can take the horror out of your fucking brain. I'm also going to apologise, guys, for swearing so much in this. I've been up since 3 AM and I had a few meetings. I was watching this and I'm just really unhappy. Really unhappy is the least that I could say. Yeah, this is just... They've literally got a backlog of great wrestling shows. Hell, Raw back when I was younger wasn't great at all. Let's no lie, in the 90s, Raw was pretty shite. There wasn't any great things, but what it was... No, there was great things. What I'm saying is, some of the matches were terrible. But you had... Even the mid-card guys were over. The lower card guys were over. The segments were funny because you always had like a Austin or a Rock or a Taker. Or they were great to get over. And then you see coming up to a main event. I remember there was a cage match against Rock and somebody else. I can't remember what it was. And it was... Honestly, there was a bigger pop in that arena on TV at that time than what you get in the pay-per-views now. And this is meant to be a homecoming Raw to the night of the Clash of Champions. Like, what the hell are they thinking this is going to sell? A bunch of DQs? What the hell is this going to sell? Guys, 1 star. I would give it less, but the fact they had Keith Lee and Randy Orton put on a great match in the first tag team kind of triple threat match was pretty good. But this was hard to watch. I honestly was wondering if this was a joke. Like if this show was a joke or if it was a repeat, especially that Nia Jax thing. I honestly thought it could have been a repeat. This just wasn't great at all. Sorry for ranting, guys. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. I'm going to love yous and leave yous there. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe and that notification bell. And I'll see you back here tomorrow for hopefully a better wrestling show for Impact Wrestling. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys.